I took on side gigs, and one of them was smuggling tortillas across the Mexican border.
You use a credit card for gambling. You're maxing out a credit card for gambling. 63% interest loan.
All right, so we got another Caleb video for you guys because the last one you guys really seemed to enjoy. I think I might have had an aneurysm during the last one because these stories, man, are crazy. So we're going to be going over a lot of stories, a lot of very different financial situations. So leave your comments down below and I'll use them for future videos, but we just need to get straight into it. And I think a good start is one that is possibly a drug smuggler.
I took on side gigs, and one of them was smuggling tortillas across the Mexican border.
What the
Paid $2,000 after
What?
after
They're
gas
tortillas.
because you need a permit, and the restaurant that I was doing it for didn't have the permit yet, and then they just exhausted their smuggling capacity, so they asked me to smuggle them. So I did that for an entire month. Yes, you'd be surprised how there's a market for tortilla smuggling. The best tortillas are in Tijuana. They're handmade. They're vegan. So they were paying me $200 a trip, and then sometimes they would pay me for gas. So I would profit about $200. That helped me come out of my little debt hole a little bit. So I was able to reopen the business again in January.
So you were very much breaking the law.
It's not breaking the law because they let me through.
Huh?
So technically I need a permit, but sometimes they'd be nice about it. They asked me why I had so many. I told them I worked at a record label.
You lied.
Yes, but they kind of already knew.
What? That doesn't make any sense. Why do you have so many tortillas? Because I have a record label. Oh, well, then you're good.
Immediate red flags. Tortilla smuggling from Mexico. Okay, they could taste better. I have no idea. I would venture to guess that is probably true. And then they're made in Tijuana, which, I mean, if you watched Narcos, the show on Netflix a while ago, Tijuana is one of the biggest cartels. So just like all the comments said, most likely she was smuggling drugs across the border. And maybe she knew, maybe she didn't know, but just tried to disguise it for tortillas, because here's some of the comments. She thought those were tortillas. So adorable. She was convinced they were tortillas. You know, maybe they were doing the thing, have some distraction in the car, like there's a whole bunch of tortillas, and then they have somebody who doesn't look like a drug smuggler going back and forth across the border, which was still technically illegal. I guess you weren't allowed to bring tortillas. So if she was allowed to break that rule, she could probably hide a whole bunch of drugs in the car and be able to get away with that as well. Okay. That interesting first video to take a look at.
What kind of car do you have?
A 2013 Nissan Altima.
Oh, that sucks. I had that exact same car. The transmission died almost immediately.
That's what I hear about them.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely terrible. How many miles are on that?
190.
How does it even survive that long? That car is terrible. Minimum monthly payment $318. Are you paying this?
I haven't. I didn't have my job.
What you could have gotten a service job.
I was
in
looking.
this town for an overnight McNug.
No, I
That's
didn't want to
usually
work
right-
at McDonald's.
I don't care what you want. You're an adult. You're almost 40. You have needs. Needs supersede wants in every category.
I'm gonna be a 40-year-old working at McDonald's.
You would be a 40-year-old paying your bills instead of missing them.
I mean, I get, of course, we've seen job listings and job demands and videos about the job market and how tough it is. But when you're not making any money and you don't have any backup, any emergency fund, anything in the savings, and you still have bills, it's not a choice anymore. Like, yeah, I don't want to work at McDonald's, but if it's the only thing that I can get, then you have to do it. But then people just believe that they just don't have to. So they're just going to stop paying their bills and then eventually get repossessed or foreclosed on or kicked out or evicted. And then a lot of people will just complain like the world is out to get them. I don't get it, especially for somebody who is 40 years old. Like the amount of life experience you have for 40 years and then you're just like, I'm not going to work. I'm not going to pay my bills, whatever.
612 credit score.
Oh, did you have to blast that? So bad.
Yes. What's Moon Active?
I don't want to tell you.
What is Moon Active?
No.
That's not how this works. What is it?
No.
Someone Google Moon Active,
No.
please.
It's a casino game.
Oh. No, that's not funny. You just got caught.
Don't ask that. Just scroll past that.
The whole thing is Moon Active.
Oh, crap. Yeah, I used that card for that.
You use a credit card for gambling. You're maxing out a credit card for gambling. You have $0 in retirement fund. You say you can't afford to
Have
put
you
a
heard
roof.
of-
You are going to stop talking for a second, or I'm turning off your mic for a moment. Because I'm going to get through this card without you.
Why do you talk like my dad?
Your dad. Poor man. So there's gambling, 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 gambling. You don't have a retirement fund. You're going to rely on your kid to survive when you can't work.
I feel like I'm naked on this freaking show.
So it's a wake-up call.
Again, like people say that I was out to get casinos and gambling for the videos that I've made and saying how much I've hated any form of gambling, not just the clicking buttons on a giant iPad type of Vegas, but any of the sports betting I think is really stupid. Throughout my videos and different topics, we see a whole bunch of people getting into debt. Clearly it didn't work out magically. Getting money from your credit card to be able to gamble didn't actually win her more money if she kept having to take out more debt, and all that added up in her statement, constantly taking out money, then maybe you shouldn't be gambling. It doesn't look like you're actually winning.
You worked 3 days last month and you streamed 18 days.
Yeah. The reason I'm moving home is because rent sucks.
Yeah, but everyone works and pays for their rent.
Yeah.
You don't. How many hours a month are you putting into Overwatch?
Definitely more than my job.
Okay. Doesn't the big boy maturity thing mean let's go at least take care of our bills first before the video game? And as a video game nerd, love them, I focus more these days on like strategy games. That's kind of my thing that I've fallen into, and like building city games. They're very fun and I've pumped too many hours into them, but before I do, I pay my bills.
So I think this is a topic that I haven't actually talked about on this channel. So if you've watched me throughout my several YouTube channels for years now, before I started making these videos and even like the reselling finance type of videos, I actually made gaming keyboard videos centered around Fortnite. Now it was completely out of the blue. Of course, I was playing Fortnite during the peak, just like everybody else on the face of the planet, it seems. But I made a video just talking about a gaming keyboard, and it absolutely blew up on YouTube for no reason, and it turned into all of these different companies sending me their keyboards for reviews, and then I'd make videos with those keyboards playing Fortnite. And I didn't become a massive streamer or YouTuber, but I still did make a decent amount of money. And especially during that exact same time, that was the Ninja, Tfue type of streamers where they were making so much money off of those games and just streaming all day and all night, that a lot of people believe that they could do it as well. And it turns into people like this, where they just think that they could just turn on the stream, play some Overwatch, and even if you're really good at the game, that doesn't mean that you'll become successful. I think it's starting to blow over now, even though there are clearly a whole bunch of streamers making millions and millions of dollars a year, but not every single person is trying to be the next Fortnite streamer and do that as a job instead of actually getting a normal 9 to 5. But this person still thinks that he'll be able to become a streamer and doesn't actually want to get a normal job.
What the f are you talking about?
Do I need to work or do I not need to work? Just
You don't
settled.
make money. How would the answer be you don't need to work?
Mentally, I think I make more money than I do.
What are you hoping to make on your 50,000 hours?
$1,000 a month.
Okay.
I guess
$12,000
I
a
should.
year. You're not living off of that.
No, I'm in the process of
So
getting.
then you have to work.
Yes, that is the idea. But
So what is the plan then?
I have been applying to jobs, but
What?
a lot of fast food jobs.
Yeah, how often?
Probably once every few days.
That's a
Definitely
joke.
not.
You have so much free time, you do nothing all day.
You're right. You're right.
You apply to like 50 a day minimum.
Yeah. I don't even know if there are 50 jobs out there minimum.
In Houston?
Is there?
Oh, shut the f up. Are you kidding me?
I'm pretty sure that this is the play dumb, just because, again, people don't want to work fast food. I get it. The job does suck. But just like we saw with the clip earlier, when you don't have any money coming in and no savings, there is no option anymore. And then playing dumb, like, there's more than 50 jobs in Houston, Texas. Yeah, it's like, all right, dude.
I was delivering for Amazon and I got bit by a dog, so I was out of work for about a month.
Wow,
Stuff
that
on
must have
my
been
leg.
a bad bite.
It was a German Shepherd, so he latched completely on. I'm a day trader currently, up and coming at least.
Up and coming. Typically, the day trading I see isn't much up. It's kind of usually down and coming to zero. You must be doing okay then.
I've only taken about $400 out of them, and that's kind of where I'm going.
Do you live at home?
I live with my aunt currently.
For free.
No, for $500 a month.
But you've taken How are you paying for that?
I've liquidated a lot of my assets over the last couple of months.
You're taking away all the compound growth and time that you have in the future of your life.
Well,
What assets?
I liquidated my Roth, first of all. And
Roth
then
what?
My Roth IRA. I had a personal one opened up at some point. And
Wonderful. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Our tax advantage account, something that would be tax-free by the time you're 59 and a half.
I
And
just-
penalty-free. Do you
Later.
know the statistics around day trading?
I don't.
It's something like 85% lose money.
I thought it was a lot higher. I've heard a lot higher. I've heard a lot of different numbers though.
Okay, if that's the case, then why pull from your IRA.
So we get a little bit more context there, and then it doesn't get any better with them trying to be a day trader. Probably saw all of those people online, all of those influencers saying, you know, buy my master class and you'll be able to get 2% returns every day, which doesn't sound like a lot, but overall in the stock market is an ungodly amount. And then they realized that, yeah, you know, this doesn't really work after a while, but they were so set in stone that they were going to become rich for going, buying and selling stuff on Robinhood on their phone real quick, that then they get mad and they don't want an actual job anymore, even though they're not making any money.
How much did you guys spend on your wedding?
7,000 to 8,000.
Yeah.
It was a Batman themed wedding.
Her idea.
This thing was set up for success since the beginning.
We're trying to think of something to do as like the ceremonial thing. I decided that we were going to write letters to each other saying why we love each other and restating our vows. And we took the letters, put them into a box, and during our wedding ceremony, we nailed the box shut. And whenever we got into our first fight, we would pry the box open, read the letters to each other, and drink the wine.
So you pried it open on your wedding night, probably.
So, I mean, the beginning of that is just crazy. We've talked about weddings before and crazy stuff being like $30,000, almost $80,000. What? On a Batman-themed wedding? All right, I get it. It's your wedding, but doesn't seem like it's well worth it. If you looked a little bit more into this video, they're planning on getting a divorce, so there goes that $80,000. They could have even bought like a really overpriced like Mercedes like GLE or something like that, which is already still heavy depreciating value, but it's better than it just evaporating at a wedding.
Summer Moon Coffee. The manager the other day recognized me. He's like, oh, Caleb, I love your show. And he was like, dude, anyone you talk to who says they can't get a job, please, dude, force them all to come here. We pay $25 an hour for like the easiest job ever in the history of the world. Please, we literally just need humans to come here and just stand for a second. You can get a job that pays money, man, and work more than 3 days a month. You have the ability to work if you want to.
Working sucks, though. I don't like to work. So how am I supposed to make money?
And I get it, man. Like, the job market sucks, but there still are places that are begging for people. And again, most likely not the best places. I bet you would see a million of those yuppie people at the super expensive coffee house every day. If they think Starbucks is, you know, too low tier, but at least it's something. And then they'll just say, no, you know, work sucks, whatever. I don't know how I'm going to make money, though.
I'm getting money from my boyfriend a lot.
What are you getting money from your boyfriend for?
To help me with bills and things like that.
Is he helping pay the bills, or is he giving you money to deal with your bills?
Sometimes he does both.
Why can you, a 32-year-old adult woman, not able to take care of yourself at all?
I think that a man should take care of a woman. That's just how I think.
You're a trad wife.
What does that even mean?
Trad, traditional wife. It's a thing that some people are into. A man should take care of a woman.
Well, yeah. I spend horribly. In these past few months, I've been asking for more.
Why?
My spending's gotten worse.
Okay, so you think your boyfriend, because he's a man, should have to subsidize your inability to control your own spending.
Well, he's okay with doing that.
So how does this work? You're just like, I need some monies, daddy.
I'll be like, okay, ew. No, I'll text him and I'll be like, hey, babe, can you send me $200? My dad took care of my mom when she needed help.
This isn't you needing help, though. If you're down on your luck because you got laid off and you can't pay your bills, it's different.
Okay.
You're taking the money and spending $2,000 more than you make.
I just don't believe that.
How do you not believe that? Math is math is math is math is math.
Okay, but it's because whenever I look at my statement from Bank of America.
Yeah, you spend on credit cards.
Okay.
So this isn't just about your checking account.
I forgot about those.
So I think this shows the difference between generations on that term trad wife that has definitely come up recently right now, but was kind of the norm, you know, several generations ago, your grandparents, your great grandparents. Now, if you want to do whatever you want to do, either you want to be like a stay-at-home mom or wife, or you want to go and be the girl boss and climb up the corporate ladder, whatever. It seems like an increasing amount of people in my generation, around my generation, want it both ways. They don't want to be a trad wife or a housewife. They just want money from their spouse so they could spend even more money on just straight up consumerism. It's not a necessity type of thing. It's just buying more and more clothes and fancy drinks and nails and all of that kind of stuff. And I think this is a pretty great example of just that.
What is the car?
2020 X1 BMW.
BMW. People on the show and their BMWs and going into debt for BMWs just so you can be the worst drivers on the road. Always
What?
It was my
Yeah, you got a
poor
car you definitely
decision.
did not need. What's the balance on this? What's the overall balance on this BMW?
Like 56.
56, 57.
56.
What's the minimum monthly payment?
1,140.
Oh my! I've never.
He tried to talk me out of it, and I said no.
What's the term length on this thing?
6 years.
What's the interest rate on this?
15%.
Six. Yeah, that's 16.
Do we know the value of this car today?
It's
Half
probably,
of it.
It's probably 8,000, 2020.
My life. Okay.
You just have to get the BMW though, and if you know anything about it, the BMW X1 is the smallest. We've talked about the Mercedes version, the GLA 250, where I've had problems with people having $700 car payments on it. When if you actually go up to a GLA 250, it's the smallest SUV. Like not even compact, just get a car, get a sedan. And the BMW X1 is that version of it. However, this one is almost $1,200 a month instead of the $700 that I thought was ridiculous for the Mercedes one that we saw in past videos. So this is exponentially worse. And again, the depreciation on all of these types of vehicles just immediate. So you're completely underwater. 6 years, $1,200 a month for 6 years. So I don't want to hear any of that when we start talking about car payments and everybody gets all up in arms when people have $1,000 a month car payments and then they believe that they must just have a term length of like 2 to 3 years. It's a lot of money because they're trying to pay the car off fast. No, it's this kind of stuff. 15% interest too. Here we have some of the comments for this video. Champagne lifestyle on a water budget. Paying 80 plus grand for a $50,000 car that's worth 20 when the loan ends. He's not wrong, honestly. Modern BMWs depreciate impressively quickly now.
I hate vape so much.
It makes you feel better. I do have contoritis or something. It's something in my lungs, which I have to take medicine for now because of the vaping. So don't vape. Don't vape.
But you're still vaping.
It really hurts. Yeah.
So, okay, we're killing ourselves with that financially and physically.
But I should stop.
$43 and more vapes. You're physically dying with this. How are you possibly laughing? I do not want to see you dead. I do not want to be following up with you in a decade, and your medical condition has put you in the ground.
They gave me this.
We've talked about vapes before in the past, and then of course there's always people who will defend it. I mean, the same way they'll defend any sort of addiction, even cigarettes, where they say, you know, it's my choice. It's like it's an American way because I could choose to do whatever I want with my own body as they're killing themselves and then get cancer. But we still see problems with this in vaping, which is supposed to be the better way. You know, at least initially vaping was supposed to be the way to get out of being addicted to cigarettes because overall it is healthier, but it isn't that much healthier when you could see this person is so addicted that she's still using it even though she's literally in pain. And of course, with it being this show, that means she doesn't really have enough money to even be able to afford the addiction, but she still puts it on the credit cards. I don't know how to say the exact disease, but had it once, stopped vaping. Worst pain I've ever felt. It was difficult to breathe when it first showed up.
Who the has a Ram 2500?
It's a Cummins also.
What?
It's a diesel truck.
Great. It costs $1,275 a month.
That's correct.
That's insane. Is this yours?
Yeah, we drove it.
No. Do we have two separate cars?
Yes.
Is this the one you drive?
Yes.
Death. Okay. So you bring in $3,333. This is a third of your income.
It's base model. It's the cheapest one they had.
Great, yeah, because this is cheap. That's the word I would use.
It was 12 grand.
What's the
off
balance
as well.
on this?
About 66.
Kill me. What's the interest rate?
12.75.
Buddy, it just gets worse though.
So again, you'll see this all the time, having a ridiculous car payment, and then they'll try to justify it in some way, $1,200, but it was the base model, right? I didn't get the super expensive one. But again, doesn't help when you're in double-digit interest rates on cars too. I get it. You'll always have somebody arguing, especially for pickup trucks and diesels, that it's more utilitarian. You know, you could get a job just because you have a pickup truck, and then a diesel will last, you know, until the panels fall off from rust. It's better than getting some sort of Range Rover that'll just disintegrate before 100,000 miles. But either way, $1,200 when you can't afford it still doesn't make it a good decision. This guy makes $40,000 a year and bought an $80,000 truck without a care in the world.
$10,795 student loan. So what's your minimum payment? Like $125?
What?
I'm not paying it. I can be honest about that. Because they've been going down on their own. So I'm thinking the government got something to do with that.
Are you sure you're
Never
not
paid
getting
a
an
dollar on
automatic
it.
withdrawal?
Where would they pull it from?
Garnishing your wages before they hit your account? Why are you not paying this?
You see how they're saying 2% paid off, 1% paid off?
Yes, you've probably paid some money towards it at some
That's
point.
not me. That's what I'm saying. Somebody's doing some magic right now. I was gonna let the magic keep happening. Maybe Joe Biden will take care of that like he said he would.
He tried. The Supreme Court said no.
That's why I was waiting.
What's your degree in?
Criminal justice.
Okay, why are we not working in that in any way whatsoever?
By the time I was about to walk across stage, I decided I don't want to do that anymore.
Okay, but you got a degree. We can at least utilize a bachelor degree to hopefully get into, some positions, so maybe customer service positions, maybe sales positions. It helps us get in the door.
That's why I got to get back into the club.
Okay, we got a couple of things. We got people not paying off their student debt because they still believe that somehow it's just going to get forgiven. It's just not the case anymore. And especially now with all the COVID restrictions gone and all the delayed payments, now you actually have to start paying your student loans back. People just don't believe it. And again, still think that someday they're just going to get forgiven. So they're just falling behind even more on that and just straight up not paying it. And then the other classic one is getting into all of that debt, getting a degree. As soon as they're done, or maybe they're close to being done with that degree, they're like, you know what? I don't want to do it anymore. And just sunk tens of thousands of dollars into something that's completely worthless now.
How have you had enough time to be as stupid as this pile of debt suggests? 63% interest loan. 63%!
Okay, I didn't know that was the interest rate until I sent you all the documents.
What? How long have you had it?
2 years, and I've barely paid anything off.
What could this possibly be for? This is insane.
You're gonna love it. I went out and bought a brand new 2022 Kia. I got that loan to do like the registration and all that.
No. Why? At 18?
Yeah.
From where?
But-
Did you walk into like a sketchy place with a bunch of mobsters and be like, yo, I need to pay for my registration? What? Jesus, what are we?
Sun loan?
Dude, you're bringing in $6,500 in the middle of nowhere. You can pay this off today.
I have a lot of things to pay for.
So this particular one is very odd because she is somebody who's actually making a ton of money. I believe she's a nurse and she's making like $9,000 a month. And she has all of these crazy loans. She just doesn't pay off anything, even though tons of money is coming in. She'll just pay for going out to eat and doing all of that. And instead of paying for any of her bills or the car registration is 63%. I just don't understand how some of these people, like what is their thought process? I don't get it.
This I have not seen on the show ever. You have late payments on your mortgage?
The home that my mom left for me and my sister.
How much is the monthly?
$1,000 for the mortgage.
In Austin, you have
crazy.
no idea.
I don't even make 1,000.
Exactly, which is a choice, by the way. I know people who work Uber Eats here and make $80,000 a year after maintenance and gas.
You're not serious.
Why would I lie? They're grinding, they're working the hours, but guess what? They're making their money.
I'm trying to find balance, man.
Won't find it until you grow up and get a job. You are squandering the mortgage of all mortgages that anyone around our age would dream of. What happens when this goes in foreclosure? You have no idea. No idea.
I do.
If you had any idea, you'd be taking care of this. You're about to squander the
not.
biggest You are already. What do you mean you're not? You are already.
I have an opportunity and I'm trying to make the best of it. And I'm very aware. Like, I'm very aware this is something that my mom...
You're aware, but you're not doing anything.
Okay, so this is a passed down house from her mother with a $1,000 a month mortgage in Austin, Texas, probably one of the biggest booming states in the entire country, especially since COVID. Everybody moved there, and because of that, Austin has gotten insanely expensive in the past few years because you had everybody from the Northeast and maybe like California, everybody who made a ton of money in those very expensive cities moved to Austin. And now it's super nice and very, very expensive. And now $1,000 a month mortgage there is just out of the question. And this person has that opportunity, has the golden ticket to be so financially ahead compared to a vast majority of people in our entire generation, and they want a work-life balance. They don't want to find a job that can make them $1,000 a month. It's not even something crazy where, yeah, say if the rent was $3,000 or the mortgage was $3,000, that is a solid amount of money. So you need to find a good job or absolutely work your ass off. But $1,000 a month now at most jobs doesn't mean you have to break your back to be able to make that much. And just completely throwing it away just because they don't want to work is unbelievable.
How much money do you think you need to retire?
How much money? A lot.
That's not a number. How much money do you think you need to retire?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. How are you going to do the fire movement if you don't have a number set?
You do it for me?
Yes, to prove that's stupid, that what you're saying.
So I'm not going to be able to retire?
Are you kidding me?
In 10 years?
Buddy, you have $0 in retirement.
Okay, but when I start making good money, then...
How much money do you think you could live off on a yearly basis? Give me that number.
I want to travel a lot. I don't know, like 30K.
How are you going to travel a lot with 30K? Unless, again, you're living on a van, but you hate that.
No, I'm going to have a paid off. Not paid off, but I'm going to have like tenants, you know, house hacking. Have someone pay my housing and my bills.
So you're saying you're also going to get a house? And save up?
No, the rental properties. What?
This right here is exactly the type of person who will see the financial influencers on TikTok or Reels or any of the short form content where they say like, this is how you could live for free. And then they show them the house hacking or the day trading type of thing, the master classes, any of the crypto, the Forex, all of those type of people, right? And they'll just blatantly believe all of it. And it'll be super easy to do. And then they just believe that they'll be able to retire, even though they have no concept of money, really, how much you actually need to save and have invested, or at least some sort of passive income, even though the rental properties really aren't. But you know what I'm trying to get at. They just think that they could do everything that they see on any of these short form videos, and then they get into massive amounts of debt like this. And I don't know. Hopefully there's a way out of it for some of these people, but it really doesn't seem to be the case.
What kind of jobs have you been applying for?
I wasn't doing like retail or fast food for sure.
Why? Because that's the one industry that literally anyone can get a job today. That's not where I want you to work, but if we've ran out of our savings and we can't afford to survive, I think we're taking a paycheck from anywhere because any paycheck is more than $0.
I didn't want to work at a retail or fast food.
And that's a childish
And it is,
choice.
But see, even
because you have a kid to take care of.
Caleb, quit interrupting me, please.
Do you accept that you're wrong for that? Any money, $15 an hour for 40 hours a week is congratulations, more money than $0 when we can't afford to live. If you have no money and you're not getting unemployment or food stamps, you need money, which requires work, which might be at a job you do not like. You agree?
I don't. But we're just going to keep arguing. Why does it matter
but
if
I want to hear how you do not agree. How do you not agree that $1 is better than $0? How? Because if your maturity level is not there, then what's even the point of the conversation then going forward?
Now, I could see why some of the older generation will try to shit on my generation, because we've seen this over and over again on just this video alone. So there are many, many people in my generation that are just like this. That, yeah, working at McDonald's does suck, or Taco Bell, or any one of them. So they're just not going to work at all, especially her. She has a child. It isn't even just somebody who's single and they just have to take care of themselves. She's not working and she has to take care of another human being. We do have to stop this, okay? So I have one more clip which shows that it isn't all just negative on this show like we saw in the entirety of the video. So at least there are some people finally getting it together.
I paid over $10,000 in a year and lost 20 pounds.
Hey, good job. Wow. Oh, those 20 pounds went right to me. This is good. You've made a lot of progress. Retirement, let's see what it was at versus where it's at today, because it is a higher number today than it was. Your 401k was at $3,450 and it's at $8,500. It's delicious. It's wonderful. And obviously, once we start getting down that 50, 30, 20, once you pay off the student loans. So honestly, my suggestion is just continue doing what you're doing, even just within your own BS spending. That's pretty minimal. I'm very happy to see where you are, and I'm happy the way that you're doing in the budgeting program that we teach, which I recommend everyone go through. We wanted to make sure nothing's ever going to be one size fits all, and we want to teach it, and you found a method that works for you, and I'm really happy, and that's great. So I'd continue this, grind it out. I know the student loans are a big number, but I mean, you are it. and I think you're gonna do really well, and I'm so proud of you. This is so good.
Somebody's finally getting their act together. It's not all just a complete train wreck. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.